Salutations, travelers! Yunjin is the best normal attack support. Buffing her team is her area of expertise. Here's a quick comparison with low investment. So who is Yunjin?
My name is Yun Jin, and I am humbled to be the director of the Yunhan Opera Troupe.
What is she good at? She's the best normal attack support, unimpeded by elements or composition. She works with any team. She provides an active shield and can be very cheap and easy to set up. What is she bad at? No passive shields, damage or support. Pick one. Limited utility for a support character, no extra effects like healing or damage reduction. Stats: Death. Her skill damage and her buff scale purely on death. ER. Her burst is moderately expensive, but she gains ER on Ascension, so you don't need much more. On that said, her damage will be very low without crit and geo damage. But trying to split stats result in staggeringly unimpressive results. I recommend going all out on death to maximize her strength. But if you just want to have some fun with her skill, go the usual crit, geo and replace attack with death. Artefacts. So I will list the best artifacts if you want to farm specifically for her. But being a pure death support, she's one of these characters where you can get very solid results just digging in your bags and grabbing any good death pieces you obtain from farming for your DPS characters. That's one of the major appeals of these characters. They do great with hand-me-downs and spare equipment. Just try to get 2 set effects if you can for the extra stats. But for the actual sets, Husk of Opulent Dreams gives you more death and is easy to use. And Arcade Petra allows her to provide another damage buff to the team, but is pretty clunky to use. Weapons. Yunjin gets a bit shafted on the weapon choices. Free to play. The catch is serviceable, the ER is a bit overkill, and the passive doesn't help her much as her burst damage scales on attack, while you want to be building death for her buff and skill. A solid meh, but it's free. Crafting. Prototype Star Glitter is your only viable choice here, and is very similar to the catch, and the upside that means you don't need refinements. Battle Pass. Deathmatch is pretty good, providing crit rate to help push her skill damage, and is the only spear that provides additional death, your best 4-star option if you want to play around with a skill build. Shop. Royal and Blackcliff really aren't very good on her. They'll work if you have no other choice. Gatcha 4-star, Fabonius Lance is your best support weapon, allowing her to provide team energy and increasing her support value. Gatcha 5-star, this is rare, but for Yunjin, none of these are very good for her support build. Skyward Spine being your best option for ER and some crit. For a skill build, Mind Jade are obviously very strong. Talents. Normal and charge attack multipliers are very low, and you shouldn't be building any attack. Consider her spear a pointless stage prop. Skill. Opening Flourish is basically a simplified Beidou skill. Press for a weak quick slash, or hold until it fires for a fairly strong hit. You are shielded during the hold. Once you unlock her second passive, like Beidou, you can use the skill right before getting hit for an instant full charge parry. Burst. A low damage hit scaling an attack but provides a strong buff for the team's normal attacks based on Yunjin's death. This is why you bring her. This leads to gameplay. You can, like Beidou, play her with a more offensive parry build for some satisfying big slashers and a relatively short cooldown, but that is more a fun build rather than an effective one. Yunjin, played to her strength, basically functions as Geo Beidou, with an easier, more forgiving skill. You can try to land some parries or be just fine holding the skill down until it fires, but the real reason you want to bring her is to burst on CD to buff the team from off-field. And that is all you really need to know. I usually finish these with one last pun, and I have a pretty good musical one, but on second note, I refrain.